Hi there, and welcome to math class. In this lesson we are looking at equivalent fractions, and we've already defined those in the flashcards when we did the terms, so there are no flashcards for this lesson. Equivalent fractions, remember, are fractions of different terms that have the same value. So we are going to look at those a little bit more closely today. You do need this memory piece. This is item number 10 that we'll be using to illustrate equivalent fractions. I'm going to make mine just a little bit larger. But let's give our page the title, Equivalent, which means equal. And my pen's a little too dark, so equivalent fractions. So if you take a look at this memory piece, you can see that we have two equal circles, but they're in different terms. The first one is in terms of fourths, and the second one is in terms of halves. So when I'm saying terms, I'm talking about the denominators really. Terms, this would be fourth because it's cut into fourths, and this would be halves. Half or halves. So in this first circle, I want you to shade or color, and you can use your regular pencil. You don't have to use colors. I'm using a blue one. I want you to color two of them. So I want you to color 2/4 of this circle with whatever color you want to use, or just your pencil. And then on the other circle, I want you to color half. Now we can visually see that those two amounts are equal. In other words, if I were to take this circle and put it on top of that circle, I have exactly the same amount colored in each circle. So in this one, 2/4 is shaded. In this one, 1/2 is shaded. And we can visually see that those are equivalent fractions. That 2/4 is exactly the same amount as 1/2. So that's the concept that we're dealing with here. The two are the same. So what I could say is that it takes 2 of the blue pieces. In my situation, I used blue. It takes 2 of the blue pieces to equal 1 of the yellow pieces. And again, that is because the fractions are in different terms. The first one has more cuts, more slices, so you need more of those to equal the bigger piece in the second circle. We're looking at two equal fractions. Now, let me show you, those of you who are using a calculator. Actually, let's do this by hand first. So what if I couldn't see the circles? How would I find out what 2/4 equals? Well, I can break it down to lowest terms. This is one way to find an equivalent fraction. Breaking down, that's either division or subtraction, and it's going to be division with a fraction. So I'm going to divide the top and bottom by 2 2 will go into both of those. So 2 into 2 is 1, and 2 into 4 is 2. So I can break it down with division. Your calculator will do this one. For those of you who have access to a calculator, let me show you how to do this on the Casio calculator. You know the all clear is your first button. You put the fraction in, the 2/4, using the fraction key, and you press equals, and it will do that division for you. So if you put in 2/4 using your fraction key and you press equals, you will get 1/2. And let me just do that to be sure I'm giving you exactly the right steps. We don't want to have you doing the wrong thing. So yes, the calculator will break it down for you. But what if we were looking at the 1/2 and we needed to raise it up to fourths? We need to build up to fourths. Well, you don't build up with division. You build up with addition or multiplication. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let me take out my equal sign so that I can put in. I know that 2 times 2 makes that 4. So I have to multiply the top by that same 2. 1 times 2 makes 2. So 1/2 equals 2/4. Your calculator will not do that one for you, other than if you need it to multiply 1 times 2, it would do that. But there are no keystrokes that I can show you that will make that happen, unfortunately. Okay, let's practice some of these. I want you to find equal fractions by reducing. Reducing is breaking down, so we're going to use division. And here we go. And remember, your calculator will work for reducing. If you have a calculator, use it. But I'm doing these by hand for those of us who don't have the calculator. So 12/18. Now I'm going to show you several ways to break this down. I had a gentleman in my class many years ago, and he reduced everything by 2 if he could, if it was an even number. Everything. It didn't matter what it was. If it would work, he would use a 2. So let me show you how his method worked. 2 into 12 is 6, and 2 into 18 is 9. Okay, this time he would have to use a 3 because a 2 won't divide into 9. So 3 into 6, and remember I'm dividing, I'm reducing. 3 into 6 is 2, and 3 into 9 is 3. So he would say, okay, there is my lowest terms. This is called lowest terms. This is called lower terms, because 6/9 is not reduced all the way. So when I see 12/18, I would reduce by something entirely different. I would use a 6 because I know that 6 goes into both of those equally. 6 into 12 is 2, and 6 into 18 is 3. So I also got 2/3. So whose way is better? Really doesn't matter. The 6 gets me there faster, but I have to know the 6. So if you're not real good with your times tables, using the first way will get you there just as easily. In my opinion, either way is just as good. It's whatever your brain understands. Okay, so let's try another example. Let's do 16 and 24. Now, my student from years ago would use a 2 because that'll work. So 2 into 16 is 8. 2 into 24 is 12. We're lower, but we're not lowest. So let's try again. 2 into 8 is 4. 2 into 12 is 6. We're lower, but we're not lowest. 2 into 4 is 2, and 2 into 6 is 3. That is lowest because we can't divide that any further. It is as low as it will go. Lowest terms. Okay, another student that I had may have done this by 4s. 4 into 16 is 4 times. 4 into 24 is 6 times. Reduce that on down. 2 over 3. Same answer. I, because I've learned my times tables and I use them every single day, would see this as an 8. 8 into 16 is 2. 8 into 24 is 3. And I'm there immediately. 2 lowest terms. Okay. So I want you to see something that is very, very interesting here. And I did not plan this. This just happened by accident. But since it did, let's take advantage of it. All of these fractions break down to 2/3. They're all equal. So 12/18, 6/9, 2/3, 16/24, 8/12, 4 over 6, all of those equal 2/3. So we can say that 16/24 equals 12/18 equals 8 over 12 equals 6 over 9 equals 4 over 6 equals 2 over 3. All of those are saying the same thing. They're in different terms. We have 24ths, 18ths, 12ths, 9ths, 6ths, I can't say that word, and thirds. But they all equal the same amount. It's just that the 2/3 is the lowest terms for any one of them. That could not worked out any better if I had planned it, and I did not plan it. It's just happenstance that they all equal 2/3. Okay, let's do some examples of getting equivalent fractions by building up. So let's find equal fractions. By raising to higher terms. Now raising, that's building up, that's multiplying. So you always have to remember breaking down and building up. Those are so very important. The concepts are. So let's suppose that I have the lowest terms 1/4 and I need to raise that to 16ths. I need to build it up to 16ths. So take out your equal sign, and I like to change colors here. 4 times 4 is 16. So 1 times the same 4 is 1. No, sorry, 4. I was thinking that's not raised. That's the same thing. 1 times 4 is 4. So the higher terms is 4/16. The lower terms is 1/4. What about 3/7 and something over 21 over something? Now don't panic on me. We're building up. 3 times 7 gives me 21. So 7 times 7, it has to be the same number, gives me 49. This is higher terms, and these are lower terms. How about 12/13 equals 24 over something? Okay, I know that 12 times 2 would give me the 24. So 13 times 2 would give me the 26. So these are higher terms. These are lower terms. And let me slide this one up one line, and I can fit another example down here. Let's do 5/6 equals something over 30. So we want to say 6/5 give us the 30. So 5/5 give us 25. We're building up to higher terms from lower terms. And since I have some room here, let's just keep practicing. This is one of those skills we can't practice too much. I'll have to make some up though because I didn't do enough of them. Let's do 3/4 and raise that up to 15 over something. So I have 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 5 would be 20. How about 6/7 equals 36 over something? 6 times 6 is 36. 7 times the same 6 is 42. How about 10/11 raised to something over 55? 11 times 5 is 55. 10 times 5 is 50. How about 15/17 30 over something? 15 times 2 is 30. 17 times 2 is 34. 1/2 is something over 50. Think of money. 2 quarters make 50 cents. 1 quarter makes 25 cents. And finally, let's do 7/10 and 21 over something. 7 times 3 is 21. 10 times 3 is 30. So there's practice raising to higher terms. And let's do just a few more up here of breaking down using division. So we start with maybe 5/25, and we're going to break that down to lowest terms. So 5 into 5 is 1. 5 into 25 is 5. Maybe 8/48. So we can break that down by an 8. 8 into 8 is 1. 8 into 48 is 6. Again, your calculator will do those for you if you need it to. And let me show you the keystrokes just to make sure. Did I do that already? I did. I'm sorry. I did it on that one, so I won't draw those out again. But there's practice breaking down and building up with fractions. Okay, this one does have a lesson in your TABE book, so that will be part of the lesson as you keep going. And I will be back in the video to work those problems with you. I hope you have a very good day. Bye-bye.